Welcome back. Time now, 9:10. For months, we've been following the debate over trash services in Jefferson City, which is now up for bid. Right now, the goal is to get the bids back by July and then make a decision later this summer. There are two different scenarios for which companies can submit proposals. One covers both residential and commercial collection, and the other only covers residential. Joining me today for more on how this process works is Councilman Ken Hussey. And Ken, I know a lot of debate has gone into this, and it's been kind of controversial. Kind of explain this process up to this point.
It sure has. We took a number of months to get a lot of public input into the RFP process just to make sure that businesses and residents had a chance to comment and offer their ideas. The business community really spoke up and had a desire to see at least an option for the commercial contract to be an open process, so that they could pick their own trash provider and independent of the residential provider. So we provided for that within the RFP. There's two options for companies to submit bids, which would be one, to do the residential and commercial as a package deal. So then again, we would pick one provider to do the whole city. And the second one is a residential only option, that a provider would provide all of the residential trash service, and then the businesses would have their opportunity to pick a provider on their own and maybe save some cost.
So far, I know this was just last week that you opened up the bid process. Any word on anybody coming forward yet? Or?
You know, throughout the process, a number of companies expressed interest in bidding on the contract, and I know that we've had one a local provider that has a strong interest in the commercial side of things. Republic Waste would probably have an interest in the full package, and you never know. You know, you put it out there, and you never know what companies may come out and have an interest in this contract.
Is there any cost difference between the two? Are people at home going to feel an impact if anything changes? Because I know that can be a concern when they hear about all this talk, and it can be confusing.
You know, we really won't know until we get the bids back. You know, I think there's a lot of people that think when you package residential and commercial together, you know, it could be a lower cost for the residential process because there's more volume to the trash service, and so a company could make a little bit more profit off of that. But we really won't know, I think, until we see what the bids come back. You know, one aspect we're including again is the curbside recycling, which has been very successful within Jefferson City, high diversion rates, and so it extends the life of the landfill, and it's good for our citizens to have easy recycling, and a lot of them have done it, which is great.
So yeah, later this summer is when you're hoping to kind of finish this off.
Correct. We hope to get the bids back by, I think, late July, and again, share those with the public, get more input, and make a decision later this summer.
Kind of moving on here, budget. Already work is underway on this budget because it is obviously a very big task for the council to do. I know that you guys have been looking at some long-range forecasts, and it's showing some challenges ahead. What are those challenges, and how do you feel like you're going to be able to tackle them?
Well, it certainly is. You know, the biggest challenge sometimes is just the growing personnel costs. You know, city budgets are heavy on personnel, and so increasing health cost, if you put any salary increases in there, and just some of those, you know, fixed costs that just increase over time. We're very conservative on our sales tax revenue projections, and so it's hard to predict what, you know, sales will do over time, and so we try to take a conservative approach. It shows tight budgets. It doesn't show a whole lot of wiggle room for the city to do very much new in the future, but obviously we hope revenues improve, and we'll try to hold the line on expenses. But the process has started. The staff are putting together their budgets, and we'll spend the summer really taking a hard look at these things.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be done for a while, right? You got some time.
We try to get it done by September, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we give ample time for the council to take a thorough look and ask a lot of questions and have some meetings on that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of different departments you have to balance out the budget there for. And I know already you're looking ahead to next year too. You're doing the budget, then also next year in terms of this half-cent capital improvement sales tax. It's up for renewal, but you're already kind of talking about the projects that you kind of want to see come out of that you can be able to use that money for, right?
We are. It's good for us to start here shortly to take some time to figure out what does 2017 through 2022, as crazy as it seems to talk about those years, what does that look like? What are the city's capital needs going to be? We have to get that renewed in 16 by the voters. It's been done for 30 years, but you never take these sorts of things for granted. And so I think the success of the sales tax has been that we've listed, you know, the projects or the areas of focus when we've made the pitch to the voters, and we've followed through on those promises. And so we're trying to put together a solid package, identify what needs to be done so that we can communicate that to the voters and say, renew this sales tax, and here's where those dollars are going to go.
Any particular projects or anywhere that this money has to go towards? You know, is it just roads, public safety? Is there one particular?
You know, it's divvied up a little bit. There are some public safety components. There's a little bit for the Parks Department within there. And then the biggest chunk of it is roads, whether that be street overlays, you know, improvements, new construction, fixing things that are out there. But, you know, at this time, my guess is that we'll spend a lot of money just on repairs and maintenance of existing roads, which never seems to end in mid-Missouri. With, you know, with the weather we get throughout the winter, it really tears up the roads. And so we try to maintain quality roads for our citizens.
Oh, always a very big cost. Well, Ken, thanks so much for coming on. As always, we love to have you.